What's up guys, Zeenigami here. Let's go through Chaos Difficulty Dellinger Coliseum. Round 1 is going to be versus John Giant. Now before we actually get to John Giant, stage 4 of John Giant has this Dex minion right here. Whenever you kill him, whichever character lands the killing blow will be binded for 7 turns, and the characters around them will be silenced for 7 turns. So they're adjacent characters silenced for 7 turns, and they are binded for 7 turns. So keep that in mind before you get into John Giant himself. Now there are 2 strategies you can go through him. You can either try to kill him before he kills you using special abilities. I'm going to be using a Blackbeard Shiki team, and since my characters are all binded, I'm actually going to just attack a few times until I can get my characters unbinded and then burst him down. He does have 6 million hit points, which is quite a lot. So another thing you can do is use the brand new Raid Boss Magellan, who is so good. Now that we've actually been able to start playing with him against some more difficult Coliseum stages, I can highly recommend getting him maxed out and using him on so many teams, because he ramps up to 1 million damage a turn so quickly. And against fights like John Giant, where it takes 3 turns for them to attack, if you use Magellan Special on turn 1 and use a damage reducer like Alvida on 1 turn and Perona on another turn, that's it. That's all you gotta do. By the time John Giant gets to attack you, he's probably gonna be dead just because Magellan's poison. All you gotta do is level him up and stall him out. You can even use a double Enel team with damage reducers like Alvida and Perona, like I said earlier, and stall really early on if you don't have a high level Magellan. And you can use that Magellan special once you get it stalled out fully ready. Now this team with Shiki and Blackbeard, our damage attacks, our regular attacks will go right through his barrier, but our special damage will not. We're going to be using Kid to empty out all our orbs, Kuma to give us all matching orbs, and Akainu to boost our color affinity of our strength characters, which will basically give us another 1.75 times damage against John Giant here. So very easy kill once we get all those down. It goes down super easily. Round 2 is gonna be versus Hack. Hack is an int character. He is going to have 5 characters around him. They all just kind of don't really have much health. Hack himself has 4.65 million hit points. He'll attack every single turn for 5,100. But his big main gimmick is that he prevents, or he has the recovery prevention debuff, and he also limits your chain by 10%. So you only get to have 10% of your regular attack. Now if you have Raid Boss Hancock, Raid Boss Hancock's special ability will actually counteract that completely. So Raid Boss Hancock will basically let you deal your have to do more damage than you normally would. So Raid Boss Hancock, highly suggested here. Now we're gonna be using a Sabo Log Luffy team. Sabo special, if I hit that attack, would have let me easily kill Hack in 1 turn, but I'll have to take 2 turns to kill Hack. And Log Luffy special can be used to clear out all those guys, either on the 1st or the 2nd turn, depending on how your orbs look. So just get some matching orbs, especially one on Hancock. Hit your perfects, use Apu, use Hancock, use Dofi, use Duval, and this stage will be a super easy piece of cake. Round 3 is gonna be versus Alvida. Alvida only has 1.38 million hit points, but she has 1 million defense. The characters are behind her have 90,000 hit points, but they have 25,000 defense. Now you can bring a defense reducer like Helmeppo to set their defense to 1 and burst them down. That's pretty easy to do, but here I wanted to use the brand new Raid Boss Magellan and really take advantage of him, because Raid Boss Magellan his poison will go straight through defense. So all we're bringing is Goemon Usopp to delay, Alvida to reduce damage, Zoro to delay also, and just let the poison do his work. Here I have Magellan fully maxed out level but unevolved, so his damage still triples every single turn, but it starts off much lower than once you max him out. And I had to stall for 31 turns earlier on, which with double Enel is pretty easy to do. Still, it took a while to stall. Thing about the guys at the back is, remember that when they die, they will silence the character that kills them and the adjacent characters to the character that kills them by 3 turns each. And if they die to a special ability like a shit special or Magellan's poison, then they will silence your entire team for 3 turns each. Which doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to use all my important specials first. I'm even going to use some Enel specials here just to hurt the guys in the background a little bit faster. And by the time Alvida can actually hit us, she'll be dead thanks to poison because she only has 1.38 million hit points, and with Magellan's poison tripling every single turn. If you have a max level Magellan and you put some attack con candies on here, it'll take only about 7 turns for him to reach that 1.5 million damage a turn, and it stays at 1.5 million damage every single turn from then on. Alvida will also reduce the damage her entire side takes by half for 1 turn every single turn. So if you're going to be bursting her down with a Helmeppo, make sure you can kill her in the first turn, and don't worry too much about the guys in the back. Focus on killing her. You can use double Enel, Helmeppo, and a Doflamingo and kill her very, very easily. It's very, very easy to kill if you just do it that way. But Magellan poison, it's more fun, right? Who needs to work? Just let the poison do the work. Round 4 is going to be versus Suleiman. Suleiman is a Psy character. He has 4.52 million hit points. He'll attack every 2 turns for 8,100 damage. His preemptive attack will cut your health by 44% and will make Psy and Int orbs count as badly matching orbs. So you don't really want to use an Int team here, since if you give an Int team all Int orbs, they'll all count as badly matching orbs. So the best you can get out of a Psy or an Int team is just neutral orbs. So you want to use a red, green, or blue team ideally. And here we're going to do basically the exact same thing we did against Alvida, is we're going to be just stalling him out using Golden Usopp, Zoro, and Alvida, and using Magellan's poison to really just cut away at his health. The only thing he does is on his first turn, when he attacks, he'll deal 10% of your current health and damage, and then he will, on every other turn, paralyze your entire team for 1 turn. He'll switch back and forth between doing this. He will deal 10% damage and then paralyze for 1 turn. 10% damage, paralyze for 1 turn, 10% damage, paralyze 1 turn. Doesn't do anything based on his hit points, and doesn't do anything other than attacking every 2 turns for 8,100 damage. You can still use Golden Usopp, you can still use Zoro. Don't forget that Magellan special also will will also delay for 1 turn the first time you use them. And if you're thinking of using a zombie team, don't forget that his 10% damage actually deals at the end of his turn. So he will attack you, and at the end of his turn, deal 10% current hit points and damage. So if you're using a zombie team, you will only be at 1 hit point, and whenever he tries to do 10% of your health damage, he'll kill you with that 1 hit point damage. Don't make the same mistake I did. That was an oops poopsie. Besides that, we just gotta wait it out. Not too hard with double Enel. Double Enel, we're gonna heal for about 3,500 damage every turn. So every 2 turns we'll heal 7,000 damage to his 8,000 damage. We only have to look for 1 food orb every 2 turns. And that's without specials like Golden Usopp and Alvida. It makes it a pretty easy fight. And remember, the fight that you see here is going to take a lot longer because my Magellan is unevolved, he's got low attack, and he's got 31 turn cooldown because I haven't gotten any special ups yet. I've got all my Magellans in my box waiting for 2 times skill ups because I'm a lazy guy. Lazy. Let's go ahead and start talking about the next round. Suleiman on the Rat Stage 4 of the next fight is going to only have 2.1 million hit points. He's still going to attack for 8,000, but he's only going to attack for 8,015 damage, so it's about 80 damage less than he does right here. Everything else is exactly the same though, so he basically has half his hit points, does 95% of the amount of damage that he's doing right now, still has a 44% health cut, and still makes Psy and Int orbs badly matching for 99 turns. So you don't want to use a Psy or an Int heavy team against round 5 Dellinger and Suleiman. And it attacks every 2 turns. Against Dellinger himself, Dellinger has... we'll get through Suleiman again. Let's talk about the team I'm using right now against Suleiman. We're going to be using a Mihawk 6-star Zoro team. 6-star Zoro, remember, boosts our damage by more if you kill something in the previous turn, but it really doesn't matter since the actual boost he gives without killing something the same turn is still 2.5. You're gonna lose a little bit of damage, but not that much damage. Don't worry about trying to front load all your stuff. Using Sabo Special on the first turn guarantees that we can still get full benefit of Sabo Special the second turn, since his first turn is not gonna be the paralysis, it's only gonna be the damage cut. So we get to get full use of Sabo Special first turn, full use of Sabo Special the second turn, and then he'll paralyze. And we have Mr. 3 still to, if we get really lucky with our attacks and manage to kill him during the paralysis turn. It's unlikely though, but the extra health granted to us by Zoro's captain ability and the Mihawk ship will let us take 1 or even 2 attacks from Suleiman. And then he does a 10% health cut, and we just attack him this turn. The only specials we'll need are Sabo on turn 1 and Mr. 3 at some point before we die here. And Mr. 3, make sure you don't have an int orb on him. He doesn't want any other orb because an int orb will count as badly matching. Now, Boss Dellinger. Dellinger has 4 million hit points. He will preemptively prevent disables for 20 turns and changes the top row into tandem orbs and bottom rows into badly matching orbs. So Zoro's special here will kill the guy in the back, kill the guys in the back row and also boost our damage by 2 times. Moving the blue orbs to the top row will let Killer change them all into matching orbs, and at this point we have so much damage with Doflamingo plus Zoro plus matching orbs that we don't even need to hit all our perfects. You can only hit 3 perfects and you'll kill him because he's got only 70% of his health. So this is a very easy team against Dellinger. It's so nice to do. You can use Mihawk on the previous stage if you like, although if you do that then you're just going to barely cut 4 million hit points with all your specials and Zoro special, unless you include Cotton Candy. So you can make this fight a little easier with that previous team by using Zoro and Suleiman, or you can just use Zoro on the final stage like we did earlier. And here's another team that you can use against round 5, Suleiman and Dellinger. This is a sort of zombie team. We're going to be using Sabo for damage and a friend Corazon for healing. And with a friend Corazon, we're going to be able to heal for about 4,500 health without any food orbs every single turn, which means that we can basically tank the entire fight for both fights. We're going to be using Magellan here on Suleiman as soon as we can, and Golem Usopp as well. Alvida whenever we need to, and we don't really need to use the Duval here. And of course, don't forget that Corazon's special ability can be used in a pinch to heal you. Turn 1, we're going to use Duval's special to cut the hit points of the guys in the back and reduce our damage taken. And using Sabo and Corazon's captain ability will kill all the guys in the back. Here we're going to stall for the 20 turns. It's pretty easy to do so. All you have to do is heal every single turn. Don't do too much damage to Dellinger yet, because he will deal more and more damage the less health he has. So we want to play it very slow until his debuff protection goes away. We're going to poison him again, and once we let our poison start ticking down, whenever the poison starts ramping up and we start pushing him below 70%, below 40%, that's whenever we want to start actually punishing him, because before then, while he's only attacking for 6,200, it's very easy to stall out. So here he just starts attacking for 7,900 damage. Now I'm going to use Golem Usopp. I can still use Alvida to reduce the damage before he attacks. I can still use Corazon for an emergency heal, and Magellan's damage will kill him all for us. So it's a very easy fight with both teams. Dellinger is a pretty good character. His captain ability is boost the attack of Powerhouse characters by 2.75 times, but reduces your own hit points by 20% and doubles the damage you take. So a huge attack boost for Powerhouse characters without any condition. That's amazing. It's almost a 3 times attack boost. You can be at full hit points, although you'll have less health than you did before, and doubles the damage received. Now you can pair this up with the Powerhouse ship, the Tom's Worker ship, to heal every single turn, although you will have less health. And Rob Lucci also lowers your healing ability, so it'll make it hard to heal, and you also take extra damage, but you've got huge power boost. His special ability deals 20 times his attack in quick damage to all enemies, and boosts his attack by 1.5x for 1 turn, boosts his orb by 1.5x for 1 turn, and changes his own orb into quick. Doesn't lock his orb, and it is only 1 turn, so he's like a mini Cavendish special. Now the big difference between him and Cavendish is, most importantly, that Cavendish clears positive debuffs, which is actually really good. Many times that's why we bring Cavendish. It's because he clears positive buffs, not so much that he boosts himself. So if you want to use Dellinger's special, it's nice if he's like the only quick character you have and you're using his special against a red boss on some stage, so that way you can just burst through that red boss and then go on to the final boss. But compared to Cavendish's special, although it looks very similar, it is missing some very key points, like Cavendish is lasting 2 turns, also clearing positive buffs, so you can get rid of some things that boost your orbs by a very small amount or boost your damage by a very small amount. But you can't always use Dellinger before or after you use a special like Sabo, or use a special like Kizaru, and actually keep those positive buffs on you. You can also keep your damage reduction buffs before you use Dellinger. Guys, I've been Zeenigami. He's a really good captain. Less good special, but still pretty good. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck, and y'all stay beautiful.